Pilates, we work through a framework of posture cues or little tips to help us know how to position our body in the optimum position as we're moving around. And that also gives us some nice tips to refer back to as we're doing our Pilates exercises. We start off thinking about one called centering, and that is the position of our pelvis. And the pelvis is ultimately going to change the shape of our lower back curve. Now our spine very deliberately has a design of these forward and backward wave curves going in through your neck, out through your upper back, in through your lower back, and then back out again, round through that sacrum and tailbone. And they are designed to send gravitational forces away through your spine so we can keep the nice jelly-like substance through your disc protected. Now over time, through sitting too much or things like pregnancy, these curves in our spine will change. So we're going to use this pelvic tilt just to remind our body of how to bring it back into its neutral or mid-position shape. So the tilt of your pelvis, you want to start with just having your hands around the rim of your pelvis here, and imagining your pelvis is like a bucket. I want you to try and tip the pelvis forwards. So with your fingers at the front, you're going to feel those going down, and the thumbs at the back go up. Then tip it the other way. Fingers come up at the front and thumbs go down at the back. And as we do this, feel how this makes your spine or your lower back here change shape. So tipping forwards, fingers down, thumbs up, makes us increase that arch as we stick our bottoms out. And then as you tuck your bottom under, thumbs going down, fingers coming up, that flattens your curve in your lower back. Try and do that a few more times, trying to make it happen just in the pelvis, keeping completely still through your shoulders, keeping the knees straight, so it's just this little wiggle between your tummy button and the tops of your thighs. So tipping forwards and tipping back. Okay, so with that full range, we can feel how much movement we've got. But where do we want to leave it? We want to leave it just in the middle. We're going to refer that to as neutral. Neutral is just that right amount of curve, nothing too arched, nothing too flat, but gently in the middle, just so we're working equally through the front and back muscles to hold that there. And then we're going to activate those core muscles that I explained in the other video of just gently drawing in through those deep abdominal muscles, switching on through your pelvic floor, holding that steady around your pelvis. So that's number one key element, that is centering. Number two refers to just the position of your rib cage. We want to make sure that we've got them connected down to that layer of support there. So rather than leaving them prominent and sticking forwards, just think of them being connected down. So when we do an action like lifting our arms up, we might feel that stretch up as the ribs lift and accompany the arm movement. But as the hands come back down, they draw back down like a rubber band attachment back towards the core. Number three is your shoulder blade positioning. And this is very much helpful in our 21st century lifestyle where we've made everything very cleverly in front of us. We've got our keyboards here and we're driving here and everything is right there, prompting our shoulders to curl forwards. And then we become aware that our shoulders are forwards and try and correct it by taking them back. And instead of making things better, that makes things worse because we've now told the wrong muscles to do that job. We're working too much into these top rhomboid muscles. So I want you to instead think about trying to take these shoulders wide. Imagine you've got a piece of string coming out of the corner of each shoulder, just taking them out to the side, and feel how that opens up across the front of your chest. Perhaps imagine your collarbones are smiling, and that will correct that shoulder blade positioning. And then number four is talking about our head and neck placement on top. So once we have done the tilt forwards and backwards and found neutral for the pelvis, we've got our ribs connected, our shoulder blades wide, head and neck should just happily sit on top, and we want to feel that we've got the crown of your head as the highest point, a little downward slope to the top of your head. So we feel almost a stretch through the back of your neck and a soft, relaxed sensation at the front. And we often refer to this as imagining you're holding a very ripe peach tucked under your chin. Not too firmly because you'll squish it, so just gently tucking it under there and feeling that your ears are then sitting on top of your shoulders. And then lastly, that fifth key element is our breathing. So, referring back to my last video about the core, if we have drawn in through those deep abdominal muscles and we've been holding that steady and we need to take a breath in, if we do a big diaphragm breath of drawing forwards and letting those tummy muscles relax, we're going to lose that core contraction, which might not always be a good time when we're doing a complicated exercise or even just a movement through life. So we need to keep them squeezed in but still get some oxygen in our lungs. So here we use some lateral breathing, and that is trying to get your ribs to expand out sideways as you breathe in. So we're still targeting the air right down to the very base of your lungs, where the bottom of your ribs are, but trying to fill them into this wide bucket handle action as they stretch out towards your arms and relax back in, and we can maintain that support in those deep stabilizing core muscles.